Well, it's that time of the week again where we get to talk about brand new VR games coming out this week, games coming out next week, and of course some of that juicy VR gaming news. But before we dive into that, I want to thank today's channel sponsor, Shattered. Are you ready to blur the lines between reality and imagination? Shattered is the first full-scale mixed reality escape room game. Solve interactive puzzles, uncover hidden clues with a black light, and face chilling moments that will leave you questioning what's real. With its multi-layered narrative, atmospheric jump scares, and groundbreaking environment manipulation, Shattered is not just a game, it's an experience that alters your reality. Dive into the conspiracy and engage with compelling characters to immerse yourself in a story that is so real, it will feel like you're living it. Play Shattered now and escape if you can. Massive thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. Of course, there are links in the description and the pinned comment if you want to go check out this game for yourself. I personally really enjoyed my time within it, which is why I'm more than happy to recommend it to you guys. Now, let's dive into the new VR games this week. Kicking things off, we have the House of Da Vinci VR. Now, this game took me by surprise. Now, I've been speaking about this for the last couple of weeks as it's run up to it coming out, and genuinely was blown away at just how good this game looks for a freaking Quest game. Gorgeous. It's also available on PC VR as well if you want to check that out, and again, even more pretty because, you know, harnessing the power of PC VR. Not only that though, it's a really solid experience. So if you're looking for something that's just going to sort of like not only entertain you but visually wow you, then this is definitely one of those games that you need to check out. It's set in a really beautiful universe, utilizing that whole sort of Da Vinci feel to everything, and damn son, this is just a good experience altogether. Next up, we had Bridge Constructor that came out this week as well, which is a brand new mixed reality game where, you guessed it, you get to construct bridges. Now, this was something that was a kind of a hit genre a little while back when it came to sort of apps and of course flat gaming, but now we finally have this come to mixed reality. Now, I was questioning whether this would really work or not when it came to coming into sort of like virtual reality, but actually, yeah, it does. This is really satisfying. It's super fun to be able to just get in there, chill out, very chill game, I would say, where you can sort of just manipulate your structures, build out your bridges, and then just hope that they bloody work and you don't crush them or, you know, kill the poor people in the cars. But nonetheless, this is definitely a really fun one. I highly recommend it. If you like that bridge construction type game, this one's definitely going to tick those boxes for you. Last but not least, we have Behemoth, which is finally out and finally everyone can go and play. Now, personally, I've had an incredible experience on this. I have played it on the PSVR 2 and on the Quest. Now, don't get me wrong, there were definitely a few issues when I was playing this pre-release, as they just didn't have that day zero patch in there yet, and of course you can't always rely on them getting those things out. But alas, they did drop that day zero patch as the game released on all platforms, and it has addressed, I would say, about 90% of the issues that there were in the game. So now there is no longer those horrible pop-ins, which really did detract from the game when it's that gorgeous. And they have also fixed a lot of things like the climbing issues that people were having, sort of really resolving most of the problems that people were having with the game. So good note, if you are wondering or you'd seen sort of like some negative stuff yesterday, I think this is now time actually that you can pretty much confidently walk into the game and enjoy what is an incredible game. Now, what did I think of this? Let's have a little chat about that, because, well, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why I didn't drop a review on this. Well, I just simply got the game far too late to be able to review it, which is why yesterday I did a really fun gameplay for this and also a comparison, which is probably what you're seeing right now. I actually personally love this game. I've put four and a half hours about that into the PSVR 2 and about an hour and a half into the Quest, and I have to say I've really freaking liked this. I've destroyed the first Behemoth, I've destroyed the second Behemoth, and I'm very eager to get back in there and continue on with this. Now, I don't think it has the strongest story known to mankind. I think it's a little weak actually sometimes, the story, but the actual gameplay itself is pretty damn solid. The combat is probably the most moist part of this entire game. Unfortunately, I feel like the combat is a little bit yeah, a bit moist sometimes. It doesn't feel very connective. You do have moments when you feel very strong in it, but there's a lot of times when you just spent doing way too much parrying, and it gets a little bit annoying sometimes, especially when you're up against some of the sort of like humanoid type bosses. So I will say that if you're not one that's interested in sort of really like, you know, the dying and repeating kind of situation, then perhaps this wouldn't be for you. But the actual Behemoth fights themselves are just insanely incredible, and not only that, it really does feel like it has a good AAA feel to this game. So yeah, a great game, but I can understand that it might not be for everyone. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I'd love to know how you feel about this now that everyone's had a chance to play it, and really just get some feedback from the community and whether this is a game that you should be rushing out to buy or not. VR gaming news. First up, Pools is going to be getting a release on PSVR 2. Now this is a very atmospheric horror type game without really jump scares or anything, but just atmospherically terrifying as you go through these gorgeous environments. And it's going to be making its way to the PSVR 2 early next year, which is great news for PSVR 2 players. So rejoice, you have a new game coming your way. To continue on that, we also have Underdogs making its way to the PSVR 2 as well early next year. Now this is an incredible roguelike game, which I freaking loved. You get into giant mechs and beat the snot out of other mechs. I mean, what more could you ask for? It's also got a very compelling campaign. Not only that, it just looks freaking awesome. I love this game. It's really good fun. If you're in a PSVR 2, this is one to definitely put on your list of games to be interested in. Next up as well, Madison VR, the world's creepiest VR game, and I think flat game as well, is making its way to the Quest, which is pretty big deal actually. It did a very good job on PSVR 2 and PC release, and now it's going to be making its way to Quest, so all of you guys and gals can poop your pants too. Well, that's really all I need to say about that. It's a terrifying game, and it's not going to be coming out on Quest. To celebrate the anniversary of Vertigo 2, there's a brand new DLC coming out for this game too, and this is going to be coming out, I believe, in March of next year, which is going to be really cool. I mean, Vertigo is a great game anyway, and Vertigo 2 is an incredible game, so if you haven't played those in the first place, definitely get those on your list. Vertigo 2 is even available on PSVR 2, and the rest are available on PC VR. Make sure you get these in your life, but nonetheless, the exciting thing is that we're getting a brand new DLC that's going to add a bunch of new fun stuff to the game, making, like, I guess, like this sort of like chain run type of game mission that's going to be going into it. Looking forward to checking this one out. Great game. Like I said, if you haven't played the other ones, get them in your life. Next up, we have My First Gran Turismo. Now, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, they are going to be releasing a free version of Gran Turismo, which is a freaking big deal, to be honest with you. This is also going to be playable on the PSVR 2. That's hence why I'm talking about it on this list. And honestly, I'm pretty dang excited. This means a bunch of you guys that don't want to drop 70 sort of pounds or dollars on this game, then what you want to get is this copy, because it's bloody free. You're going to be able to experience Gran Turismo for free. Now the cool thing about this is it's going to have, I think, 3 tracks in it and a bunch of different cars that you're going to be able to get into and upgrade and do all your stuff with. So of course it's like a shrunk down version of the actual game, because the main game is bloody huge and has a ton to do in it, but it's going to give you a taste for this, if not just enough to enjoy and then move on with your life. It's freaking awesome that they're doing this. So yeah, as of today, I believe it drops, you're going to be able to go onto your PlayStation and download this. So even if you don't have a PSVR 2, but you just own a PlayStation, you'll be able to play the flat version. And if you own a PSVR 2, then rejoice, because you're going to be able to experience this. And it even has the PS Pro update applied to it, which makes it freaking gorgeous. Coming up next week. Well, starting up the releases for next week, we have Home Sport. Now this is going to be like the Wii Sport of mixed reality / VR. I'm actually looking forward to this one because I freaking love that. So this is going to be like that really, honestly, pretty good timing for this, because at Christmas period when people are getting their first VR headsets, I would like to think there'll be a bunch of people who will play this, because it's a pretty easy game to get into, and even if you don't have the greatest VR legs, this is going to be just something that you can get into and enjoy. So definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you're like me and you love the Wii Sports games, I feel like this is going to sort of tick that box. Next up, we have Action Hero, and honestly, I am really excited about this game. I've said it before, I have actually had the chance to play this game. Really good fun. It's kind of like super hot and pistol whippy sort of meets these action scenes where you have to complete them in order to become the badass action hero that you want to be. Now there's a ton of different sort of like movie genres that you're going to be able to experience in this, from like Jurassic Park sort of feeling stuff to Indiana Jones to a bunch of other cool things. Genuinely, I'm really excited for this game, and I cannot wait to talk more about this as of next week. Definitely get this on your wish list. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Next up, we have Clone Drone in the Hyperdrome. I think I said it correctly. This is going to be coming out as well next week. And again, a bit of an old and golden classic from PC, just flat gaming, is now making its way into virtual reality. And this is its own entity as well. It's not even just a copy of the old game. This is its brand new thing. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. It's basically like a pixelated type adventure where you're going to sort of destroy a bunch of stuff with cool weapons. I mean, need I say more? It's pretty badass, and I cannot wait to dive into and check this out. And last but not least, there is a mixed reality game coming out next week that I'm pretty excited for, called Panic Room. Now in this game, you're going to be able to basically test yourself against some terrifying fears, whether it be arachnophobia, and my god, you're going to have a lot of spiders enter your room, or whether it be ghostly phenomenons and having creepy old ghosts enter your space. Now, I won't say too much more on this, but it's definitely a freaking creepy game, and it really utilizes mixed reality, just sort of bringing your space into the horror, which I think enhances it massively because suddenly you don't feel so safe even in your own four walls. And that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Massive thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to support this channel. It really does mean the world to me, so of course smash like if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you are new, subscribe, because this is your one-stop shop for all things VR. Well, VR, MR, XR, every R these days. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do those wonderful things, and I will catch you in the next one. Let me know in the comments down below what you're going to be playing this weekend. Maybe I'll be able to jump in and play some multiplayer with some of you as well. So take care, take it easy, peace out, bye.